All right, so on YouTube, I posted some videos. Go check them out. We've spoke about alliances on the show on the channel many times before. We made a couple of uploads as well on YouTube. We're talking about relics. We're talking about why alliances will never work. Why it's not a good thing for World vs. World. We talked about it the other day, and lo and behold, a blog post appeared within the space of minutes after we finished discussing, or me ranting at least. I don't know if it was a discussion. It was me just going off on one, and they've announced. They announced that it's not off the table, but they just want to push out whatever they've done so far because they feel like the player base deserves at least something. And in its current state, they feel it is going to make an impact and make a difference, which is good for the game. So, on that note, boys, let's have a look. Let's remind ourselves. Okay, so Steward update, World vs. World restructuring. This dropped on September 10th, as you can see, 2021. If you're not familiar with the system, it aims to address player population imbalances and create great matches. This is going to basically mean that they're getting rid of servers, okay, which is gone. No more server pride, even if there was server pride. And they're introducing a matchmaking system mode where players, guilds, and alliances are programmed to be distributed or redistributed into teams previously known as the servers on a set schedule. And I believe the schedule of the season wasn't... I don't think they finalized the decision on that, but they said up to 8 weeks, maybe. So every 8 weeks, it's repopulated and it's all changed, right? So, which means less boring matchups, hopefully. Now, is that going to be the thing with world restructuring going forward, or is that also not going to happen? We don't know. We haven't been told yet. We haven't been told anything really. Let's be honest. Now they're saying that this gives them more flexibility and it basically helps create the new teams and basically manage the population over time. And it gives players the agency in choosing who they want to play with on an ongoing basis. So basically, with them getting rid of alliances, it basically means that you're not going to be able to make a huge group of players. Now, this is a question I put to you guys. If you were going to make an alliance before, you would basically make a guild, and you'd have another guild, and then you make an alliance, right? Well, now, the only way to make a huge group of players to be guaranteed to be on the same server is you all join one guild. What is the maximum players or maximum amount of players you can get in a guild? Now, obviously, there's going to be some limitations on that because some of the guilds won't be high enough level to recruit more players. Maybe they have to level up their guild so they can get more people in it. But it'll be kind of unlikely that most guilds will be able to fill out those slots. Is it 500? Well, in that case, we've pretty much got alliances, haven't we? Let's be honest. I don't think there's going to be many alliances, even if we had alliances, that would be 500 in size. I would be very, 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 very skeptical on that. Because is there even 500 players that would want to join together? You're not going to get any content if you stack 500 players, right? Like, which guild out there is giant and they're going to go and also join another giant guild? What are you going to fight? So to be honest, the alliances thing, just forget about it. Forget the name about it. Forget the name alliances. World restructuring is literally the same thing, okay? It's pretty much the same thing as alliances. It's no different. It's literally no different, by the way, because you can stack a guild of 500. That's fucking massive, and that's the issue we've got with alliances or any type of system. If you can stack 500 people on a server, that is the issue. Now, how many people are going to do that? How many people will do that? Say they drop this next week or week after or whatever, or this year. What's going to happen to you? Well, we know some things. We know some stuff, right? We thought we know. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we think we know. Maybe we don't. If you're a new player, you will be able to pick what server you join, right? That's not changing. If you're not an active player and you've not been active for a long time, the game will assume nothing about you because you are a nobody and nothing. You haven't even played the game. If you come back to the game, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pick the server you want to go to. If this ever drops, if this restructuring ever drops. But as a player that plays the game and is active, guys, you have no chance to choose your server, right? They're getting rid of it. So that alone surely is good for the game, right? Surely that's good for the game. Because you can't bandwagon. Now, the only thing you can do is try and join a guild, right? Well, you didn't pick a guild. Because you didn't start. Maybe you come in through the season after a couple of days or something and the season's already started. You can't get on the server with your friends. Or your guild. That's bad, right? That's bad for the game. People are going to be upset. People are going to be mad. Okay, so they're bringing in a system that is going to be pretty controversial. Because some of the things that they're going to change, maybe, potentially. We don't know. It's not them shook my hand and said, looked into my eyes and said, yeah, this is exactly what we're doing. We don't know. We're just like theory crafting at this point, you know. Hypothetically, we're thinking about the possibilities. But it could be good for the game, but a lot of people might be upset. So be prepared, boys. Be prepared. So matchmaking, when teams are destroyed and recreated, occurs at the beginning of each season. Okay? And it could be up to 8 weeks. Okay? Before a season begins, players can select which of their current guilds they'd like to play with for that season. Okay, so any changes to a player's selected guild will not take effect until the next season. So you cannot join mid-season, right? So while the composition of each team is static during a season, you'll be matched up against different opponents each week using an existing one-up, one-down matchup system. That's pretty much the same, isn't it? Like, it's pretty much the same. Okay, let's read some more, so everyone knows what we're talking about here. Active World vs. World players that have not selected a World vs. World guild before the start of the season will be automatically match-made onto a team. We know this because we've had betas of the alliances, and you know that you cannot pick a team unless you're using an alt account and you've never played it before or something, or you're a new player. Okay? So new players or players that were inactive for an extended period before the season will not be automatically placed, and you have the option to choose a team you'd like to join. This is literally it. Teams will be locked or fall once they've reached the population cap, like the current system we have. So that's not changing. Okay, that is the same. You still can't join a fucking full server. Now, matchmaking. Ready? This is the big one. Matchmaking will initially use factors such as participation. What does that mean? What does participation mean? And playtime to place players. What does that mean, guys? Is that a good way for the matchmaking system to be set up? And then they've said at the end there, we're open to adding additional variables to matchmaking. Time zone. Yeah, I mean, there's like things like time zone. There's things like language, you know. But we don't know exactly. Okay, so this is the beginning. This is the introduction of what world restructuring is all about, okay? Doesn't matter what you call it. Alliances, world restructuring, it's all the same, okay? It's just a word. The actual fact is, what is this system? What is the mechanics? How does it work? And that's what we're really talking about today. Is world restructuring going to work? Will it work? Will alliances work? I've got my opinions, boys, but we're just going to talk about it. You know, talk about it again. If you had time to think about it. Okay. Okay. So this has been in development for 2 years, boys. 2 years. Okay, and it's stagnant. 2 years ago. Population imbalances 2 years ago. They've been trying to get this system to work for 2 years. This system is poised to revolutionize World vs. World by shifting away the traditional servers and introducing some dynamic matchmaking system. It's intended to grant basically players more agency in choosing teammates, that's for sure. But also, it's maybe potentially either allowing or disallowing server transfers within this season, unless you're a new player or you pick prior to the start of the season. So, it's providing opportunities for guilds to upgrade to larger sizes as well. Because if maybe you're a new guild and you want to invite more people, you've got to upgrade your guild to invite more people. So, you know, if you're seeking expanded camaraderie, you know, you might have to level up your guild soon. That could be like a negative for this whole thing, because people won't want to upgrade guilds maybe, because it's a lot of hassle, a lot of money, a lot of gold, a lot of time. But anyway, what's the pros? The pros of this, boys. What's the pros of this? What's the pros of world restructuring, boys? What's this? Oh, this is just an instruct. This is just basically what I'm just talking about. So this is basically what we're talking about. So as you can see here, we've got the roadmap, and we all knew this back in what, a month ago, August 22nd. So nearly a month ago. So we know that the expansion was coming. We know that we're going to get relics. We know we're going to get Wizard's Vault, strike missions, weaponsmith training, rift hunting, and basically a new skins and stuff, right? We know Halloween event. I don't know why that's in the roadmap, by the way, but anyway, it is. Halloween event is in the roadmap. We know Halloween event's coming. It always does. And then here we have at the end there gameplay systems, skills and balance updates, World vs. World update. Well, usually what happens is they say World vs. World update, and they say soon TM. Well, this has actually got a date on it, but then we've been given dates before, and they've, you know, I don't know, man. Take it as a pinch of whatever, of cope. But the fact that they're actually going to do something before the end of the year, it could be possible that this system is rolled out sooner than you thought. But anyway, the pros, boys, the pros. Balanced matches. Now, how is that going to be? How are we going to get balanced matches if it's based on participation and player and like the times of day they play or whatever? How is it gonna fix anything? Like, this is the thing, right? Like, it's aiming to eliminate population disparity. I get that, right? So that's good. Create fairer and more enjoyable experiences for all players, right? But how is this matchmaking system going to fix the skill differences? And how is it going to ensure that a good group of players that stack in one guild is going to be fighting another guild that is of equal skill level? It isn't going to fix that, is it? It's not going to fix it, is it? It's not going to change anything. The previous article was from 2021, yeah. The latest one is here. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. They're saying intended to produce fairer. Fairer? Well, fairer is all about matching skill level, surely, and matching population, like numbers, and more engaging matchups. How are you going to fix that with world restructuring if you don't fix the core problems with world versus world? Like, people are AFKing. By you restructuring the alliances or whatever the fuck you want to call it, doesn't matter, insert the word, whatever you think this word should be. The world restructuring system, how are you going to fix the engaging matchups for world versus world? That's the thing. It's the thing we have to think about. And I'd love to ask a dev, how are they going to make it more engaging when people don't care to win? Sometimes they manipulate the matchup so they can fight certain groups of players. Sometimes people don't play because there's no commanders or the commanders are bad. Some people don't like to fight and play as a team, and so therefore they can't attack. It's too hard. You know, how can you make it engaging purely alone with purely by world versus world restructuring? It's not going to happen, is it? Let's be honest. This isn't going to work. This is not going to work. So yeah, if you didn't see this post already, they're not going to do Alliance System beta testing this year. And it could be possible that they won't even roll out this system alliances ever. But they're going to roll out world restructuring, which is pretty much the same fucking thing, by the way. Because you can still make a massive guild of 500. So, I don't know, guys. That seems... I mean, the chances are you won't find guilds stacking like that many players. And your chances are that maybe you would have seen like a few guilds, like 30-man guilds or something, 40-man guilds, 50-man guilds, maybe make an alliance with another guild or another 3 guilds or something. And you won't see that now. So you might see smaller groups than you would have done, and maybe less hand-holding, unless you're in NA, boys. Unlucky, because NA love hand-holding. So this could be good. This could be better than maybe it would have been. But it's still maybe not going to fix WoW as well. It's not going to fix the issues, right? But yeah, they're looking to build a system with enjoyable experiences. I don't see how they can do that with just this world restructuring alone. And then matchups feel as rewarding as possible. Well, weeklies and dailies, people are logging on for those. But is that rewarding? Well, maybe it is rewarding for these guys because they don't know how to make gold in the game, and maybe that's how they want to play. It's very casual. But does it fit? Does that feel good for the game though? Does it feel good for the game? Like I said the other day, if one team had dailies that were attacking and one team had dailies that were defending, then it might be okay because then you're having some engagements, right? But if everyone's like all their dailies are defending, no one's attacking, well, that's fucking... Who's going to fight? Who's going to PvP? It's going to... What's the point, you know? Anyway, they don't have a timeline, but they're going to keep us updated. But anyway, they're going to roll this out, boys. They're rolling it out. World Restructuring is coming as it was at the betas, pretty much. Before, you pick a guild. There you go. You pick a guild. So, community continuity. So, while the introduction of alliances, which has possibly been cancelled, for a good reason, long-standing communities, it's possible to stay together. They just make one guild and you just invite everybody. So, if you're all on a server and you want to be guaranteed to stay on the next team, we don't call it server because it's going to be a team. When this happens, the only way you're going to be able to do that is either you have a brand new account and then you'll be able to pick a team, or you have to join a guild. And I believe that with this system, you might see a lot more community guilds popping up. And you might all pick a community guild, and so you're all on the same server. And then you have another guild that you just raid with whenever. But you didn't pick it. But everyone picked the community guild, so you're all on the same server. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the system is the same, but you're just having to do more to make sure you do the same. It's literally like relics, isn't it? Like, you've got to go and farm the new relics, but then you've pretty much got the same. I mean, yeah, okay, relics are a bit more flexible now, but it's still not fixed the main concerns of what they wanted to do. And I discussed about that, and I've uploaded video on YouTube about relics, and we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, community continuity. Keeping communities together. How is that going to be possible? Well, it's going to be through guilds, and that's the only way. So you guys, you want to be on a server with your people that you're on the server with, and usually you just go, wow, I'm on this server and I'm never leaving, I'm never moving. And if it's world relinking at the end of the month, it doesn't matter because I'm always on this server, I'm never going to move and blah, 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 blah. But if you're on a linked server and you're moving around on linked servers, well, no longer will you have to pay to move to a linked server to be with another server that you want to play with. Now you're forced to join a guild. So actually it's going to save people some gold and maybe some in real life money if you buy gems to transfer each time they do world restructuring. Because this time round, you're just picking a guild. And if you don't pick a guild and you're a random pug, you're going to be put on some random team with random people. So maybe that's good for the game. Meet new people, have new experiences. Might be good. You never know. People might click with new people and they might suddenly pick up some new players in their guild or something. You know, maybe that's good. Maybe it's good for the game that guilds get the opportunity to experience, playing on different teams, and maybe they pick up people along the way. Because at the end of the day, once you've been on a server for a little bit, it's going to be pretty hard to keep recruiting. You're going to basically recruit as much as possible, and then you're probably going to hit a brick wall, and then you're not going to be able to recruit anymore. So honestly, this could be good for guilds. Could be. But anyway, players, you have the opportunity to pick your team you want to be on through the guild. So you want to start thinking about that right now, joining a guild. Because if you don't select a guild, you can have no control over it. And the casual pugs out there, well, they're not going to join a guild, are they? Let's be honest. They're not going to join a guild. They were never going to join a squad. They don't even join a tag. So we're not talking about those. But what ArenaNet really want to know is how this affects new players. Well, it's the same as it's always been. New players are always going to be on the receiving end of they walk into the map and then they see maybe something or they see nothing. But anyway, time to increase your guild size if you want to be a big group of people to accommodate all those on those players on your server. But anyway, it will allow for larger communities and more diverse communities. And hey, the game might get even blobbier, boys. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm really surprised though. Really surprised that this is happening. The option for players to transfer to different teams during the season, you're not gonna be able to do that, right? Not possible. I wonder though. I wonder if they do it for 8 weeks a season, I wonder if there is going to be a cool down period within that when you can transfer. I wonder. I'd be surprised if they don't. I'd be very surprised if they don't. I guarantee they're going to try and make some money either way. I'm pretty sure, dude. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so with cancelled alliances, doesn't mean shit, boys. It doesn't mean shit. Like, even if they say they're putting it on hold or they're not testing beta this week or this year or whatever, doesn't matter. This is the same. It's the same thing. Alliances, restructurings, all the same thing. Okay? Yeah. Don't be disappointed. If you hoped for alliances, don't be disappointed, guys. It's good. It's good that they're not gonna like roll it out, to be honest. But the system that we're getting, is it gonna make this better? See, the matchmaking challenges is the most important thing, in my opinion. Like depends on the effectiveness of the matchmaking system. Like, if it's counting World versus World participation and playtime, well, how do you balance that? And what does that even matter? Like, just because one server plays a lot and another server plays a lot doesn't mean that it's going to be a great matchup. Because one server might have a 2.27 KDR and the other server has a 0.59 KDR. But then they're going down. Whiteside Ridge is going down and Gandara is going up. Do you see the logic in this? Do you see the logic? It doesn't make sense to me as a player or as a competitively minded World vs. World player that this team should win and this team should lose. These guys are farming the enemy. 27% of their points is from killing. But yeah, the game is not about killing. Should the game change? Should it change? Should we get more points for killing? I think so. I think you should get way more points for killing. Is that gonna promote people to avoid fights even more? I don't know. I think they already avoid fights. I think the people that want to avoid fights and lose will always be like that, regardless of how many points they lose or gain. I think in general that the player base is very casual and no one likes losing most of the time. But I think that the way to get like the Fissure of Woe, Runes of Sirmia, Whiteside Ridge matchups would be better. It would be better than what we've got. Like, it's pretty obvious to me, right? It's pretty obvious to me that those 3 servers are strong in terms of like fighting. But instead we have to fight and play the game in a different way. So if we want to go and fight these servers, we have to manipulate the matchup, which is really odd to me. Like, it's like UFC and you put up like the champion, heavyweight champion against some guy that you've never heard of. It's like, why would you give him a title shot? I guess this is not fighting, right? This isn't a fighting game. It's a PvP game, but at the end of the day, it's World versus World, right? It's all about objectives. I really think they should increase the points for kills. I really think they should. But anyway, it is what it is, boys. Floyd Grubb left back in May, apparently, to Blizzard. I already talked about that. 2 years he did nothing. Well, hold on. Sorry. 2 years he did nothing. He probably did something. Let me have a look. Here we go. Vision holder for World vs. World. Tent pole. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Put up a tent pole somewhere. Lead for World vs. World team in prototyping and alliances and world restructuring features. I mean, I'm sure he did something. But anyway, cheers, Floyd. Whatever you did, we're just going to roll that out. Designed and implemented the objective scaling rewards. This was the one where you could... Yeah, this improved rewards for active play, resulting in 20% increase in play base. Yeah, he only increased the play base because he gave better rewards for repairing walls in SM. So, I mean, that's fucking normal. I mean, anyone could have done that. That's obvious, dude. Increase the rewards and obviously increase activity. Like, come on. That's basic shit. Worked with analytics to create actionable reports of player activity in World vs. World play mode. I mean, yeah. I'm sure he did work with him. He probably said, yo, have you got the analytics of the player's activity? And they said, yeah. And he said, thanks. And that was working with them, apparently. Designed and implemented 2 event chains. Wow. 4 standalone events and several encounters spanning 3 zones of Ender Dragons. Holy shit. Insane. PvE. But yeah, don't worry, boys. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're not missing out. Not missing out on anything. I'm sure they'll have devs still working on this restructuring. I'm sure they will. But matchmaking is the key one, boys. And I really don't think that this situation is going to be better. I think the matchups will still remain based on some really weird things that don't really matter. Like, I mean, the population imbalances is fine. Like, I think that's a really good factor to push on and to focus on and hone in on. Like, participation and playtime, you know, is really important. You don't want to be fighting versus gates, you know. So, you know, if there's a server out there or a guild out there that is playing at 8 o'clock in the morning, then I think that the system should match them up against players that play 8 in the morning, right? So they have some actual, you know, balanced fights. I think that's great. If that's the system that's gonna happen and it's gonna work, then great. But I still think that overall, the quality of the fights and the quality of the guilds, there should be something added into the matchmaking system based on skill. It should be a skill-based matchmaking system. And is that going to take the fun out of the game? Because I know a lot of people like, it's basically like PvP, right? Like ranked and unranked. Do we want to continue this? Basically, we're playing unranked World vs. World right now, aren't we? We're playing unranked. Do we want a ranked World vs. World, or do we just want to pug stomp unranked and pretend we're good at the game? Like, what do we want to do? Like, we're gonna fight fucking Pyken and Desolation next week, guys. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna enjoy that shit. Like, if you're on Fist of Woe, you're gonna play versus Gandara and Ring of Fire. You're gonna like that. Gandara with a 0.5 KD. You're gonna enjoy that, guys. You can have fun. Barrack Bay, you're in fucking tier 5 forever, or FSP, you're in tier 5 forever. You're gonna love sitting in tier 5 forever. Like, I mean, with this system, you might see less stagnant matchups, but hey, I think it's gonna still be a skill difference, possibly, boys. Death 500 members Inc. Yeah, true. Joining a guild is toxic. Stacking alliances is still gonna happen. Well, stacking guilds is still gonna happen for sure. Yeah. We don't know how transfers work yet. There is a good chance that you cannot transfer if you're in a guild. Yeah. Maybe. Casuals might join the community guilds. Maybe, dude. Maybe. Yo, Wookie, what up? PPT server versus fight server. To be honest, they can balance a lot better after one run of restructuring. Just mix PPT fight groups. True. Giga Chad, golden bag for capping tier 3 keep. Yo, Wiggle Firm, what up? Sorry if you've had this question before frequently. What are your thoughts on the players that only play World vs. World for the gift of battle? Would offering another avenue for the gift hurt World vs. World too much? That is a good question. That is a good question. I think... do you know what, Wiggle Firm? I think that there should be another way to get gift of battle, right? In more game modes. because I think that you're forcing players to play a game mode that they don't necessarily want to play. Now, I don't know whether they just have this in Wild vs. Wild because it's like, because they want people to play Wild vs. Wild and they're trying to incentivize people to get in there, and maybe they enjoy it and maybe they stick with it. But I think deep down, I think the better solution is what happens is they give us opportunities to have Gift of Battle in different game modes. And also, do you know what? Gift of Exploration. I should be able to farm a raw track for Gift of Exploration or something. Because I don't want to have to do that. And how is it fair that PvE players who enjoy PvE can play PvE and get their stuff, but for me, a Wild vs. Wild player, I have to go and do PvE to get a legendary, to make a legendary. Right? Now, I know that PvE have to come to Wild vs. Wild to get Gift of Battle, so that's why I'm saying, you know, vice versa. We should all be able to get what we want in terms of gear in our respective game modes. I think that would be good. Would it hurt Wild vs. Wild? It probably will. It probably would. Probably would. But then again, if I want to do map completion and get a legendary, I wouldn't do it, would I? I'd just fucking buy it. But there's probably a lot of Wild vs. Wild players that do map completion. Well, that surely would hurt Wild vs. Wild as well, because they're out of Wild vs. Wild. They're not in it, right? So, you know, it's the same, right? It's the same thing. Like, people will go out of Wild vs. Wild and they'll do PvE and they'll do, you know, we could say, oh shit, turn off PvE because you might steal players from Wild vs. Wild. Like, it's the same thing, right? Like, I don't think it would hurt it, but not really that much. And I think overall, if you make it easier and for people to get the thing that they want to get, I think that's better for the game, for the casual people at least, or for the people that play the game in a certain way and don't play PvX. They play strictly, I'm a PvP player, I'm a PvE player. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do map completion. I even got a sky scale. I still don't want to do it. Don't want to do those hearts. It's boring, not enjoyable, and there you go. So Roy will save us. He'll add more NPCs named Roy. Ice cream, so good. Gang. Yeah, you never know. Yo, Barrow, what up? People that just get the gift do not really matter, but some of those people might enjoy it whilst and stay more. Yeah, exactly what I just said. Helps people get introduced into the game. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what their thought is probably when they're telling me to go to... they tell me to go to PvE and go and get map completion. Maybe I like it so much I just stay in PvE forever. I like what my wife told me. What was about size and it matters. Last paragraph in the studio is kind of trolling. What do you mean? We don't have a timeline to share now, but we keep you updated with this one. Or do you mean this one? One major priority in the perpetually active version of Restructuring is growing and tuning the various criteria we use for matchmaking to create our Wild vs. Wild teams. I mean, it's not trolling. I think that's good that they recognize that player participation and time they play is not the only thing they need to consider in terms of the criteria to tune the matchmaking system. I think that's great. I don't think it's trolling. Our goal here is to build a system with enjoyable experiences. I mean, that is a good goal to have for a game. But, you know, is the system in its current state able to achieve that? No, it isn't. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Hey, maybe it is. Maybe it gets more people to join guilds, and people join guilds and they have fun with other people. Like, playing the game solo is like, oof. Maybe, you know, maybe it helps people bridge that gap of... So many gamers are like this, though. There's so many gamers are like this. They play the games like this all the time. It's the same in other games. It's like... Squad... Hell let loose. No one wants to be squad leader. No one wants to interact with other people. You have these things like, you have like proximity chat in games. No one likes to use their microphone. It's like, oh, I can't interact socially. Oh, and I think once people start doing it, the game and the experiences they have are better. I think you just got to try and get people out of their shells somehow. And I think maybe that can... This system could maybe help people overcome their anxiety of interacting with other people. Anyway, boys, you know, I don't think this system's gonna be terrible. I don't think it's gonna be the best thing for the game. But hey, there is some positives for sure. There is definitely some positives to think about. And then obviously at the end they say matchups feel as rewarding as possible. Well, they've definitely increased the rewards. And they've definitely increased the rewards crazy amount previously, and they had to nerf it. But, you know, the rewards are getting better. Honestly, I think the rewards are in a good place right now. There could be better rewards. We could see better rewards. I'm happy to have some more rewards. But I think, honestly, the World vs. World rewards is never been as good as it has been, really. At least this year and recently. Why is that being held? Because you typed the word suckers. Well, apparently suckers is bullying. So it didn't get posted to chat, but I'll read it anyway. Taylor Sloth, we also really like having the opportunity to get together. A significant number of our studio employees will be doing just that next week, so we'll be quiet. Oh, yeah. I made fun of that yesterday. I said that they're going to be even quieter than they were before. Yeah. You would pay to skip hearts. Yeah, true. With Conflux, it worked on me at least. I didn't touch World vs. World till then, and now I am ranked 7k and play GVG. There you go. See, now that is beautiful. Boys, how many viewers do we have right now in the stream? Can anyone tell me? Because I feel like I'm talking to like only 5 people. The chat's not that active today. You guys are sleeping. Maybe you're just watching and lurking. Yeah, maybe. But I see a lot of the same names. Can we get a bit more interaction going, boys? Wake up. We also really like having an opportunity to get together. Significant. Oh yeah, I'm reading the same fucking thing. Some type of currency like the proof of heroics, where you can buy out the hearts on a map. That sounds good. I like that. That's a good idea. World vs. World mains on EU have like 5 accounts, so it's all pointless anyway. Yeah, some people like playing on alts, man. Yeah, I don't personally like playing on alts because I've got shit gear, shit builds, and well, the servers that I'm on my alts, I don't really want to play with these people anyway, to be honest, most of the time. So, people love being social, but they don't want to be the first to initiate. Yeah. Yeah, true. His poor wife. Have 4 EU accounts, World vs. World, and 1 NA World vs. World account. What, we have 69? Really? Oh, shit, we actually have a lot. Okay. We actually have a lot. I didn't think we had that much. Yeah, my view account's not working, so... Not that I really care about it and look at it. But I was like, what's going on? It says I've got 3 viewers. But then there's like 7 people typing in chat, so... Yeah, it's a bit fucking weird. So what else are we talking about? Yeah, player disconnect. Or... Is that the word? Anyway... Imagine if you're a pug, right? And you're on a server. And you're forced to relocate. You're forced to move. Now, it is possible that they might get frustrated with this and stop playing the game. So that's a con, boys. This whole system could scare some casuals away because I just wanted to follow this guild raid around. I just wanted to be on this team. I was on this server. I love this server. Do you know what? Some people, like, even though they're so casual, they get really upset about being moved around because, well, you know, it's just human nature, isn't it? Like, did you ask me to move me? You know what I mean? Like, people have like this. They don't see the positives. And also, I don't want to join a guild, but I want to be with these people. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get some of these types of people. But yeah, this is definitely a good step towards addressing the population imbalances in World vs. World and creating more competitive matches and less stagnant matches. The cancellation of alliances feature, it is a notable setback for some people, but for me, it doesn't matter because this implementation of the restructuring is still same thing, and it holds promise, and it holds obviously big potential to ensure that no, we have a good time in World vs. World. So. Like, I initially reacted to this, and I was like, fucking hell, they need to just get rid of alliances, and please stop coping and stop fucking holding on to this. But, honestly, I'm just thinking about it overnight, and I was like, world restructuring alliances, it's all the fucking same, let's be honest. It's all the same. You can make a 500-man guild, by the way. So doesn't matter about alliances. Like if you really wanted to, you could just join a big guild and then two guilds that raid on like different days, but they want to be on the same server, the same team. They can just make a big community guild, but they don't actually have to raid with each other. They can still raid in their separate guilds. They just select another guild when they want to raid, and they have the same guild tag. You know what I mean? Like it's only just to get them on the same team. Like you can basically get alliances with the current system, you know. So we don't need any more development in alliances, to be honest. Let's be honest, guys. They don't need to spend resources on alliances. This is the right thing. This is honestly the right thing. Anyway, do you think they should revisit alliances, chat? Do you think they should revisit it and they should develop this and implement this in the future if it's feasible? Do you think alliances could offer more a better approach to World vs. World? Potentially. Will it enhance the overall experience? What do you think, chat? What do you think? Send ads, babe. I'll fucking send you ads. Just you, Barrow. I'll just send you ads, yeah. Why are the one no work? What other one? Wait, why is the TTS not working? Is the TTS not working? Yeah, if you don't actively join a group, you might get despair, yeah. How much copium is left in your tank? How much copium is left in my tank? Honestly, there's no copium here, man. No copium here. We're just talking about and discussing the possibilities, man. Like, there's no cope, man. I ran out of copium a long time ago. I always get my hope up a little bit, like 1%, but then I know what's gonna happen. I remember.
Oh no, alliances won lol.
Just joined TLS. But for me, it was okay. I went guildless for all beaters, and it was okay, but others might not feel the same. That was Flux and SF back. Just bin it, not gonna lie. Ooh. At that point, nah. Alliances would have been good a few years ago, when bang-wagoning started.
Here I come.
Oh.
Classic.
Berousing just followed.
How's he not following me already? This guy, man. He unfollowed and then followed again. Cringe. Just so he could hear his own name being called out by Brian. Fucking cringe, man. You're a Brian simp. Alliances was dead end. True. Alliances would have butted butt a few years ago when bang-wagoning... Oh, I'm reading butt. Fuck's sake. Oh, the bloody hell one. Wait, the bloody hell one didn't work. You sure? And they should have fixed World vs. World as a all. What? Oh no, alliances when? What?
The year is 2044. I log onto the neural network and browse the Guild Wars 2 subworld using my Reddit implant. ArenaNet has released another blog post stating alliances are almost here, and the recent leap in subspace quantum computing has really helped speed up their UI implementations. Satisfied with the news, I buy 2,000 gems and log on to GW2 to play some VW.
Okay. So the algorithm for the matchmaking, can we all agree that it needs to be refined a bit more? Maybe add more variables like, well, language preferences, time zone. Hey, and maybe skill level, boys. KDR. KDR of guilds. What do you reckon? To improve the accuracy and balanced matchmaking. Not just population, but skill. Do we want to one-push the enemy? No. Does the enemy want to get one-pushed? No. How long are matchups going to last again? Well, they're still going to last a week. Possibly. We don't know. We don't know. They haven't said anything. Are they going to get rid of skirmishes? We don't know. It's probably just going to be the same, guys. It's going to be the same as the beta was. You pick a guild, and you get placed on a team. So, with this world restructuring, they obviously want some more live data. They're talking about extremely valuable for us to get constant or consistent live data. So getting the system permanently online is their first priority. So, Guild Wars 2 developers should maintain that, to be honest, for player feedback throughout, well, whenever it rolls out. listening to the players' concerns and suggestions can help them address the issues as they rise. But are they going to be listening to the right people? And are they going to take the information? And what are they going to do with it? And we know that we have a balance patch coming at the end of the month. Do we know what they're going to do? No, we don't. So we might have to wait 2 weeks, and then we're going to get disappointed, and then we're going to have to wait another God knows how long before they fix the things that we're trying to fix and they didn't fix. So I really think that they should really give better communication, like clear communication about these changes, and so we can discuss their benefits as well as like reduce the frustration and the waste of time, ensuring the smoothest possible changes. But anyway, might be disappointing, boys, for you. The alliances has been on hold and now been basically told, you've been told no more. But there, this is, it doesn't matter. It's the same, boys. Same. Okay? So, there we go. There we go. Improved matchmaking. Now they can gain more feedback and live data. Maybe greater player engagement, more pugs joining guilds, and enjoying that World vs. World experience. Might be some challenges along the way, but hey, this actually could be good, guys. This could be good. We slept on it, boys. We slept on it, and we've reconsidered, reevaluated. Anyway. Are they gonna change the way the game works? That's the main thing I want them to be able to do, is make the game fun to play, and hopefully matchups, they can change it so it doesn't feel so a mega lols, waiting for the enemy to come outside and play and they're never gonna play. Hey, but this is World vs. World. It's an interesting game. No one's really been able to pull off something like this before. No one's ever tried. And, it's 2023, boys. We have a new MMO coming out. Anything that's going to replace this? I don't fucking think so, boys. So, I mean, it's kind of a bit yikes that they've got really no competition out there. Because that would really maybe help them and force them and give them something to really consider about, like, shit, we better do something because we got some competition. But they have really no competition for this game mode, right? So, there's no urgency. But hey, the game's super casual, and there's nothing else like it. There's no big, large-scale PvP, World vs. World Siege Fiesta, 3-way in Stone Mist Castle. There's no other game that lags like this on a Friday night. Who's looking forward to Friday Reset, boys? Yo, I never saw this, by the way. Did you ever see this?
There is information on the Alliance's test.
Did you ever see this, guys?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
We'll get some info, some dates.
Nice.
Get some info and some dates.
That's gonna be exciting.
Exciting. Back 2 years ago is exciting, boys.
I am on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, I'm also like equally terrified.
No.
It's funny. I'd like to probably watch that a little bit more, but back in the day, man. Back in the day, 2 years, man. Alliances was being talked about on Indo's stream, man. One of the devs. So long ago, wasn't it? Insane. But yeah, if you want to go check out the official forums and the post, if you want to read more about it, go check it out. It's in the news section. I pretty much talked about it enough now, I think. I don't think there's anything else to discuss. I'd like to see some action, boys. Some action. All right, this week's matchups. Are you ready? Okay, so Desolation. Number 1, boys. Number 1. Deso JT, number 1. Desolation, number 1. Despite having a 0.64 KD, they managed to win. They took all the towers. They captured all the towers. They held the towers. They held the most points. Oh, yes. Number 1. And in second place is Runes of Surma and Vabi. I think Runes of Surma and Vabi, they could be number 1. I mean, I'm on Runes of Surma. I should say we. We could definitely be number 1. If we pushed ourselves, but half of the population were like, we want to drop. And then half of the population was like, I'm playing the game. And there you go, you're second place. So you did neither. You may as well try at this point. You may as well try and win, because winning means what, guys? What do you get for winning? Bragging rights and rewards, maybe. Nothing. What the fuck? A medal. Do we get a medal, dude? Imagine if they gave